my secret weapon. And I used this actually before I went enterprise, and it's only served me more since I've gone enterprise. But WP command line, usually depending on where your host, should probably automatically be installed on the server. If you're working at like an enterprise that goes through WordPress VIP, you have to go through extra steps in order to get WordPress command line installed locally on your computer, and you usually go through GitHub. But I most frequently use the search and replace functionality, and it's very similar if you've ever gone into a database and run a query with search and replace. There's a lot of plugins on the WordPress side that'll also do search and replace, but in my experience, they don't tend to catch everything. And so I love, it's just so much more efficient to go straight in the command line and do a search and replace query. And a lot of examples of some of the reasons I might use it. Obviously, I used it a lot when we were switching sites over from HTTP to HTTPS. You might run a crawl and still find that you might have some lingering non-HTTP URLs. It usually tends to happen in like an image that was embedded or some random script or something that's in the header that wasn't caught. And so going in and running it to update all HTTPs to HTTPSs is really easy. You can literally do it in one command. Biggest thing that I do is to fix broken internal links. So obviously first thing that comes to mind is links that result in 404s. So that's usually my first round that I do. And then second round would be to update all internal links that go through a redirect or pass through a redirect of any sort. So it's always best practices that we link directly to the page and not pass users or search engines through a redirect. But as you can imagine how much of a nightmare it is when you realize like you've got rid of this post or you redirected it and you have like 50 internal links within your content across multiple, 50 posts. No one wants to do that manually. So going in through WP command line and just run one search and replace for the old URL and the new one, you do it all at once. Another thing would be like to strip old permalink structures out of internal links. So if you've ever worked with someone, especially if they're a blog and they've used all like maybe the date file paths and they've decided to clean up, they've cleaned up their URLs. That's not fun to have to do, and so you really need a scalable way to go in and clean those all up. Category changes, any of those things, you can go in and do it in one swoop. And then the thing that's really been helpful for me is we've really been taking a hard look at internal link cannibalization in our own website. We realize we're linking to so many pages with the words credit cards. And so we only want our main card page that we want to rank for credit cards to have that anchor text. So we've gone in and cleaned up the anchor text at scale and the internal links as well. So we do it all at once. And another thing, it's been really helpful, so we're learning, we have compliance issues as well. If you have a legal department and suddenly, oh my gosh, we can't say that about this reference and point to this page, and so you can go in and just clean it up rather than manually, something our team had to do for the longest time, and the amount of hours and resources that were involved in cleaning up in some of those situations is like so intense. And so this has been like God's gift. I can't even tell you how much excitement and like the eyes in some of the meetings like, oh, no way. I don't have to unleash my team for weeks at a time to like make these changes. I became their best friend. So I'm just saying, if you want people to like you,